of cell-cultured protein.
Chair recognizes Mr. Gerdes to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, SB 261 is about protecting Texans from being a science experiment. And I move, Pat. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, question for the author.
Will the gentleman yield?
Yes.
The gentleman yields.
Mr. Gerdes, I was reviewing the votes on this bill yesterday, and I know people probably don't want to hear me talk, but we need to talk a little bit. I'd like you to explain a little more about the things that are behind this, the people who are behind this, the true agenda of this, our colleagues who really understand what's going on. This isn't about food freedom. Maybe I'd actually say that it's the opposite. It seems like they actually don't want us to be free to eat meat. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so as I kind of alluded to yesterday, this bill is just about a 2-year pause to talk about fairness in a market. Our meat producers have strict guidelines and regulations they have to follow in this state. And we have a new food product that's emerging. And this bill doesn't stop the emergence or innovation or research of that. But what it does is put a 2-year pause so the state of Texas can have some time to create a fair and equitable regulatory framework for this type of new cell-cultured protein, i.e.
But
fake
just tell me
meat.
about like who,
But
why?
the folks that are the opposition behind this, their end goal, and I quote from a Food Tank article, "I don't think we're too far away from a world in which 100% of meat is either plant-based or clean," which is what I said yesterday about the big idea of getting away from our agriculture industry, which is the backbone of Texas.
But who are these people? I mean, what are their names? I'm seeing one that's called the Good Food Institute.
The Good Food Institute, yes. And the president of the Good Food Institute, Bruce Fedrich, that was a quote from him from a Food Tank article. And
Members, please take your conversations outside the rail.
All right.
And so the big idea here is Texas is not going to be getting rid of its agriculture industry, our cattle.
Did you say Bruce Frederick?
Yes.
Is that the PETA guy?
Yes, he spent 13 years at PETA.
Okay. Seems pretty weird. Look, I'm looking right here. It says we've tried to convince the world to go vegan, and it's not worked. It seems like their agenda really is that they don't want us eating animals, or maybe they just love animals more. But I don't think that it's more sinister than that.
And come hell or high water, if anybody gets in the way of a grass-fed beefsteak.
I think you're probably right on that. Now, also, they're trying to claim that we're going to save the world. We're going to save the environment by getting rid of the cow farts. I'm trying to understand how by going to some
I'm pretty sure this country has cut our greenhouse emissions by a substantial margin versus everybody else in this world. And to say that we need to get rid of our cows because they're contributing to this is
great. Well, look, I hope our colleagues maybe who had not listened yesterday will have listened to you today. Understand that not only do we need to support our ag industry and our cattle raisers, but the real agenda behind this isn't for freedom, that it's actually the opposite. So for freedom today, to vote yes on this bill and to support our farmers and cattle raisers. Would you say
that's right? A vote today is in support of our cattle raisers and our meat producers, and I urge you to vote with me, and I move passage.
Thank you.
The question occurs on final passage of Senate Bill 261. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Ashby voting aye, Mr. Bell of Kaufman voting aye, Mr. Van Dever voting aye, Mr. Shaheen voting aye, Mr. King voting aye. Have all voted. There being 99 ayes, 36 nays, Senate Bill 261 is finally passed. The chair lays out on third reading Senate Bill 12. The clerk will read the bill.
SB number 12 by Creighton, relating to parental rights in public education and to certain public school requirements and prohibitions regarding instruction and diversity, equity, and inclusion duties, and the loss of funding for public school that fail to comply with those provisions.
The chair recognizes Mr. Leach to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is the Texas Parent Bill of Rights, and I move passage.
The question occurs on final passage of Senate Bill 12. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Leach voting aye, Have all voted? There being 88 ayes, 47 nays, Senate Bill 12 is finally passed. The chair lays out Senate Bill 15